Thank you, Ikram, so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to talk about Atiye charity with you and talk about Sudan overall. So, how would you describe what is happening in Sudan to someone that may not know much?
First of all, I would like to say again, thank you for having me. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be part of your platform. How do you say it?
Know your Allah.
Know your Allah. It's such a powerful space for across cultural immersions to come together to be able to understand as Africans of our continent and also be united. So actually, what is happening in Sudan is basically two powerful groups are fighting between each other. The RSF armed forces with the Sudanese armed forces, but the war evolved into basically into civilians war. As a result, it caused the largest displacement in the world, as well as the largest humanitarian crisis in the world. Millions of people have been displaced into neighboring countries, such as Eastern Chad, and internally displaced refugee camps within Sudan. Um, these families are in a situations that are like very devastating. They don't have access to food, limited clean water, healthcare, and so on.
So, how does your charity come in into this?
So basically, the whole idea of Atiye started when we heard that when the war actually broke out, the families who across toward the eastern Chad, a lot of the elders and children crossed the border without having proper clothes on or shoes. So that just sort of really hit us hard to the point that our people are facing such a circumstances. And from there, the idea came out as a just wanting to help them with cloth distributions. And then from there, it evolved into a nonprofit organization. When we did within the 3 months of that idea coming into life, we said that, okay, why can't we turn it into a nonprofit organization and help communities across not just Sudan, but Eastern Chad and also across Africa.
What does Sudan mean to you?
Sudan is my identity, my root, my strength. Anywhere I go, it represents cultural resiliency. Anywhere I go in the world, I carry Sudan with me. It's part of me.
Is there a memorable story from others or your life that you would like to share from Sudan?
When we do our projects for Atiye's like humanitarian aid projects, we're getting stories, a lot of stories actually, but some of the stories that are really stuck with me that I carry around with me wherever I go is that some of the families on the Eastern Chad region, despite them losing everything with the little that they have it, they still hold on to each other's, like sharing their food, looking after one another's kids. Such as resiliency just keeps me that, okay, the work I'm doing, I see it as a small thing, but there on the front line, it is making a difference. And once I get to hear these stories, people like expressing their gratitude, sending us prayers that the Atiye people or Atiye founders should live long to go there, and so that they can see us and so on. So such just like small stories keep going basically. Mm-hmm. Like humanitarian aid worker, doing a humanitarian aid work is not easy, but once you get to hear such encouragements from people that have very little, but whatever a small thing that you basically extend your hand to, they're more than grateful. Mm-hmm. And they're just like appreciative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when people are displaced, everything is turned upside down, including their job, their town, the sense of community to schooling. But I saw that your organization helps displaced Sudanese people in all aspects of life, including school. And I saw that you helped cover exam fees for students in the Abatangi refugee camp in eastern Chad. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so since our founding, we have done a lot of, we actually did several projects. Some of our projects were food packs distribution, Ramadan food packs distribution, supporting kitchens that were providing daily meals for the communities that are in the Tawila region. So basically, the families who have fled from Al Fashir are currently on the Tawila region within Sudan. Besides these, we also help with cloth distributions for orphans, elders, widows, and when it comes to education, it's a big factor thing that Atiye has it within its principle. So although these kids are being displaced from their homeland to these neighboring countries, we still want them to hold on to one of the lastest thing that they can hold on to, which is like having education. So we don't want a whole generations to just go uneducated. So while they were already trying to get education within the circumstances that they're already in within these refugee camps, that just inspires us to start initiating projects that also support schools. So we did school supplies distributions in Alache refugee camp, Meche refugee camp, as well as Ebetengi, and specifically Ebetengi. I think like about 2 weeks ago, we did our exam entry feeds project. Basically, there were students who wanted to take their bachelor exam entry, but they did not have the fees to cover for their exam registrations. So when the proposal came out on the community, it was just circling around, and then it came to community Atiye's team who are on the ground. So they immediately took the proposal and helped these kids with their exam fees as well as the cost of transportation that they will be relocating to the Atiye, which is the estate within that region, to take their exams.
So what is your message to the people of Sudan?
Sudan, you are not forgotten. We are with you. We stand with you, and we will try to be the voice. We will try to be your voice wherever we are. Just hold on to it. Just like Allah says, "Inna Allah ma sabrin." Allah is with the most patient one. So beautiful things are waiting for you, and we will continue to fight for you.
And do you have anything to say to Africans, like in the broader diaspora?
To Africans in the diaspora, I would say that Sudan crisis is not isolated. It is a part of the larger crisis within our African continent, and that it is a time for us to be united, to mobilize our resources that our continent has it, and to be able to come together to raise awareness on any issue that's facing any of the African countries. It doesn't have to be your country or my country, because at this point we're talking about our continent as a whole. So to be able to raise awareness, be united, and be able to take actions within our African communities.
What does Atiye mean?
Atiye means compassion, generosity, giving. Basically, Atiye itself, the word itself in Arabic, if you were to look at from the Arabic lens, it would come as a meaning of a giving. But through our local language, it's sort of a unity. It means unity. So the logo itself that we have it on our organization has 3 ants like holding on to a sugar cube. So basically, it's a symbol of unity. If you looked at this small insect working together, they always work in a group. They don't like go as an individual thing. So back in Sudan, when people do their farmings, they tended to like go as a group, like on one straight line. They always have a leader that leads them and they follow, and they go in a way that's the weak follows them. Who is able to hold on to something of food that they can bring it back also follows them. They don't say you're young, you're old, you're middle age. Basically, it's sense of unity coming together to work for one purpose, which is to help one another.
How does your team support the organization, and what roles are there in your team?
So my team supports Atiye as a whole through outreach and fundraising campaigns. As for roles, the team on the ground has a whole organized, structured roles within them. As for the team that's here in the US, I am the president of Atiye as a whole. Then there's a vice president, executive director, secretary. There's a social media management, also social media content creator. And also we have a lot of volunteers, as well as from the Night for Sudan. We have acquired a lot of inquiries that have been emailed us expressing their interest in joining Atiye's team or taking a part within Atiye's team. So yeah, we have quite a lot of roles going on, but then we also have people who are interested in joining, which is that's what I wanted for this organization, because since it is founding up till now, there were so many obstacles that we have to sort of like across to come to this stage. And this is where exactly I envision Atiye to be. And alhamdulillah, it is at that stage.
That's so beautiful. I'm so happy for you and for Atiye as a whole that it's been able to grow to what it is now.
Thank you.
And hopefully it continues growing.
Thank you.
Is there anything that's distinctly from Sudanese culture that you love?
I love the sense of community within our culture. People supporting each other. Anywhere you find a Sudani person, you will know them right away from their generosity, from their kindness. We express our kindness, could be through our food, gatherings, or through small acts of kindness. You could be passing through the road and you might like knock the door wanting some water. We will just like not just give you water, but also give you something to eat, or you just become part of the conversation just goes in, and then before you know it, you are just like they're talking to them basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I with that, like that really deepens our connections into who we are as a Sudanese people.
Mm-hmm. I remember, I think one of the first videos that I watched about Sudan is this woman. She cycled from Cairo to Cape Town in Africa. And the hospitality she saw in Sudan was just so unbelievable. Just like you said, everywhere she went, people were saying hi to them, and they were giving them like tea, chai. And it was so beautiful, and it broke my heart because I think a few months or so after she left was when the war started.
Right. Up. Yeah. So we wanted to have Atiye be expanded. Not its work just within Sudan, Eastern Chad, or because we also hope some part of Uganda. Our work has been expanded to Uganda as well. And also we partner with Miss Iyabo Adeneko Supportive Foundation. It's a foundation based in Nigeria that helps orphans. So last year around December, we did a collaboration between her organization and Atiye, and we were able to support about 500 plus orphans around the New Year's time, just to kind of like celebrate and also for them to feel like there's someone that cares for them, because a lot of the times orphans feel like they have been left out. It could be either through around the New Year's time celebration or like the Eid celebration, or during Christmas times, they tended to feel like they're always being left out. So with that, we initiate that project to assure them that there's a community that's behind them and there are people there who cares for them and look after them. So with that, we want Atiye to expand its work to other parts of Africa. I know Sudan's crisis will not just go on forever. There's definitely end to it. And with that, when the people of Sudan are back into their land, thriving, living the way they used to, then we want Atiye to also reach some parts of Africa that Sudanese people have not been to. Anywhere we go, or any community we go to implement a project, we make sure that we leave a Sudanese mark there. We just don't go there, implement our project and leave. We make sure that we leave a little trace of Sudanese there so that next time we go around in that region or in that community or in that country, we are being remembered that a Sudani person was here once. So with that, we want Atiye's projects to be expanded for long terms, specifically food insecurity, clean water, and continuous support for education, supporting refugee students to continue their education despite the circumstances. These are just to name a few.
That's so beautiful. And I love the Pan-Africanism in your organization and how you look out for all people.
Thank you.
And finally, what is your vision for Sudan and then Africa as well for the future?
My vision for Sudan is to see Sudan thriving as it used to, where kids can wake up and go to school without any fear. Families can go about their day and not having to worry about their kids if they're safe or not. Seeing elders and people of all ages just live the way they used to live, basically, without them having to be forced to constricted to in a specific region or specific area or a specific place or so on. So I envision Sudan being rebuilt, not just it is infrastructure, but also it is unity, equality, and opportunities for all Sudanese citizens across Sudan, and also for Africa as a whole. I envision actually Africa, like in the recent coming years, I can sense it that Africa will be a very thriving, a very developing continent, because the youth are waking up. It's not as before. The youths are waking up, and it's a matter of us just being united, because our continent has all the resources from A to Z. From A to Z, it has all the resources that we as the youth needed to rebuild that continent in the way that we want it. And I do see that the youths are coming together, but we are lacking unity in terms of coming as a whole, one continent, to develop our continent within the resources that we have. So we are lacking unity, and the sense of unity is what I'm looking for. And I'm pretty sure in the coming days, we will be able to unite it in order to rebuild our continent.
Beautiful way to end. Thank you so much for appear on my channel today. It means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you for the flowers. You were so thoughtful. Thank you.
I wanted to talk about this. You said that your mom made it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.